week wrap up. Earnings is pretty much done for the week, and I thought I'd take the time to do a couple reviews on the video we put out on August 26th, Monday night for Tuesday. We gave out an identification in Best Buy that there was some for this September 6th. I know I kind of confused a couple of earnings, but we did something like I think about 18 different earnings stock plays this week, plus the regular newsletter trades, one of which was an earnings event. So we're just going to start here. Foot Locker. We only got filled on that half position and we missed the other half. This is the weekly newsletter, comes out every Monday. Basically, you can't get any more transparent than what we do in our research. First off, we give you what kind of happened last week. We give you the weekly pivots, the monthly pivots, my analysis on the overall benchmark indexes from the SPYs, the Qs, the Russell, and the Dow. Technically, I give out a little bit of increasing information on advanced decline, volume, commitment of traders report, seasonal trends for the month of August. Since August was concluding this week, figured, well, let's look ahead in September and see what that. So we give out the sector seasonality, commodity spreads that have an 80% probability, or over the last 25 years have an 80% or greater probability, or at least track record of making wins. Now, these are not guaranteed, obviously, by any stretch of the imagination. Again, when you deal with seasonality, remember, past performance is not ever indicative of future results. When it comes to trading in the stock market, we put out weekly buy and sell, or at least what looks bullish on weekly signals. And this week we had Square, Zscaler, Southwest Airlines, Halliburton, and Biogen. On the downside, there weren't very many new, fresh sell signals. That's what that's all about, new, fresh sell signals. We don't have any new, fresh shorts. The only thing I could say is that we were looking at entering Foot Locker on a pullback, which it needed to have a bad reaction on earnings, which it did. We missed, we got filled at 29.35, and we missed the 29.05 entry by, I think it was 32 cents. I think just a lousy 32 cents. PayPal never got filled. AMD, we're still working those orders. BABA, we got filled, and we're in, it says add 50%. What that means is we're already in half position at 79.18. I wanted to buy a dip. Sorry about those little icons popping up. And we did get filled on that. We're in British Tobacco, Boston Property, Pfizer, AT&T. We have a SEP 27 just for longer term work. I'll get to that in a minute. On Cloud, we bought that a couple weeks ago. The 42 half 50 bull call spreads, those are doing nice. Russell, that trade should perform, so I'm betting that IWM goes up. SPY has a little bit of downdraft due to rotation. That's the best I can explain to that in that regards. So here are all the big earnings that we had this week. How did we fare? Well, if you watch the videos, first and foremost on September 6th, we had a play on Best Buy. And Best Buy, we identified for you guys the 98 calls. We're going for 63 cents. Those got absolutely, look at we had for a high in Best Buy, 103. So, you know, those are September 6th. They still have theta. So, again, I hope you enjoyed that one. The next was, in fact, Foot Locker. It was kind of a double play, but I'm already long Foot Locker. Foot Locker were the September 6th option expiration. And Foot Locker, actually, they were the 36 strike calls for $1.20. And then finally, you notice we put out on August 26th, video that was Monday night. I said affirm. We identified some unusual option activity. The 33 strike calls going for $2 and again $2.65 is exactly what they were. What I reported to you guys. That's what happened with affirm. That was deeply intrinsic. So those are all some pretty decent plays there. Fast forward to then again on Tuesday night on the 27th, we gave out Square, and Square for the again. That was September 20th. So that's got a lot of theta left. The 70-75 call spreads for $1.05. What happened to Square? Square did okay, but it's not near the 70-75. It's moving in the right direction. Backed off the high today from a 68 print. Those should still be okay. They have a lot of theta left. And the bottom line, those look pretty good. We talked about on a video, again, about Super Micro, SMCI. You remember Super Micro? I did a big market analysis for you guys on Super Micro, and I said it could break down. It's got this relative strength breakdown. The volume was looking bad. These are my proprietary indicators. And it generated a PPS sell. And then I guess Hindenburg research came out and says that or a hedge fund said that they are short the market. And some news came out that they were going to delay their F-13 filings with the SEC. And the stock just didn't go down. It went into as I was alerting to you guys, it looked weak. Super Micro had a supernova meltdown. So at least the indicators helped us there. Is everything perfect? Oh, nothing's 100% perfect. So far, it looks good. I'd like to just share with you, I'm going to bring this into focus here, a couple things. We talked, and you can pause the screen here, Chewy. We talked about August 30th, expiration 27 calls. We talked about Salesforce. Again, this was looking for a big move for the put options on the August 30th expiration. CrowdStrike, we talked about, there was no real unusual volume, but we did see it looked like someone was rolling the 270 strike calls. Next, 5 and below or 5 and above or the discounter. I only saw the September monthly options and it wasn't really a big deal. NVIDIA. Now this was important because in our live trading room, you can see the dates of this is exactly a screenshot from the live trading room. We talked about NVIDIA earnings on today, 8:28 after the market closes. Implied move was $12. And what we noticed was that someone had, it looks like someone did a short straddle, selling both the same strike, both calls and puts, of 125 strikes, and collected $14. So that trade probably worked out today. And that's the bottom, what happened with NVIDIA. Great earnings, went down in the post-market after earnings in the extended hour and kind of chopped and chewed around and went down. AFRM, we also gave that out to you guys. I gave that to my live trading room. We gave a trade in end phase, and we took some money on that one. Microsoft, that was another one. We took some profits on that. The trade ideas we had from 8:15 was to do these trades, and we got out of, as you can read here, all the action there. I mean, this is going to make you dizzy, but just to let you know, we did, again, another setup with, on 8:28, look what time it is, 12:37 in the afternoon. We noticed some notable options in the 120, 110 put spreads, September 6th expiration. Those are going to be right in the money, man. So that was a good pickup looking at that. Also, the August 30th, those expire tomorrow, 125, 115. So someone was playing for a longer duration next week's sell-off between 120, 110, and others were looking for a sell-off that will expire into tomorrow, Friday's expiration. That was some pretty decent observations there and information that we get generated to our trading community. MRVL, which we have in JPAM, J-Person Asset Management, we have MRVL, a long position for disclosure, so I don't want to beat around the bush on that. Fully disclosed scenario here. We don't like, this is pretty much, there's nothing in between. You can't read in between the lines. This is all fully disclosure. How do we, if you look at that MRVL, again, that was the August 30th, the 75 strike calls. MRVL's earnings today were pretty decent. MRVL is currently trading, as I'm talking right now, at 75.80. MongoDB, disclosure, I do have a long position there. Long position in Lulu. I shaved it before earnings came out. And, we'd been long from right in here on that PPS buy signal. So, there wasn't a lot of action that I saw to take opportunity on a collar strategy. And I did get a little spooked based on some of these earning reactions, such as Dollar General, man. Look at this stuff. But we did have a kind of a play there for Dollar General for our community. One of the plays that we talked about this morning, and that was, I think, kind of interesting to the setup of how we've seen some of these markets move, was just a simple stock play. And basically what I think I posted here earlier, Dollar General this morning, one could do a 50-50 scaling on a stock, half at 88.5, half at 84.20. That got filled right on the close with stops below 77.20. Here's how we come up with a lot of this information, these indicators right here. Now, going into the keys are to look at person's market catcher, the relative strength. I also look at volume. We use my momentum volume. And again, probably the best looking tool that I've ever come across is this PPS indicator, and that can be found on multiple chart packages. TradeStation for one, and as you know, we have the Algo Optimizer. We've been sharing the results of that and from day to day in the live videos. For the rest of this week, tomorrow, I think, for example, MongoDB will probably pin. I think it's going to stay below 290. We're trading at around 277. MongoDB is a software you probably are familiar with. It's up 17%. MRVL, the whole thing with even a company like Ambarella, A-M-B-A, Ambarella, by the way. Oh boy, come on, John. A-M-B-A, here we go. Ambarella. Ambarella had just an amazing overreaction on its earnings. There's your earnings. And I think just besides everyone focused on NVIDIA, other semis are in demand right now for different products and different market segments. MRVL is auto. A lot of their chips are used in automobiles. So I'm believing that tomorrow the way MRVL is setting up, MRVL. Here we go. Get into it, John. There we go. Probably's got the retest 78 on that particular. It should see that gap higher hold from for tonight's action. We're trading at 75 right now. It's only $6 up, 10%, something like that. 77 is a lot of resistance. What are all these little dash lines? They're Person's pivots. We've got monthly pivots. You can see it's all fully disclosed for you guys, weekly and monthly. So it's targeting a lot of what we call a confluence of resistance between prior weeks and then again for the monthly. So something up around 75 to 77 tomorrow. Option traders should be absolutely out of that stuff because, well, you just don't want to hold it over a 3-day holiday weekend. Moving forward, do I feel that we've got a major upside movement? It will depend on the volume. I think these were just individual excitement, whack-a-mole type of game with the markets. Two stocks that didn't bode well, ULTA, and that's held by Warren Buffett. That stock is actually Ulta came back a little bit. I thought Ulta Beauty was, I had it down just. Yeah, it is down. Something's wrong with Thinkorswim here. Because here we go. Ulta Beauty is down like 7%, down $25. So that's going to be an issue going forward for, I think Warren Buffett's got a little extra cash. I don't know if he went with a scale in a little bit, test the waters, and on earnings, maybe he's stepping in and buying a little bit more. I would imagine he would because he's not the kind of guy that goes all in. But it does bode support the notion that consumers are kind of strapped. Another beauty company which I prefer at these lows is Estee Lauder. I think if perhaps it gets a little bit of sympathy weakness, somewhere around 85 re-challenge the low from August 13th, somewhere down in there, I'd be a buyer. I think the relative strength's getting less negative here. And I mean, a stock that's come from 373. This is their parent company is of Estee Lauder. I mean, is the parent company of Clinique and other makeup brands. Bottom line, I think Dollar General's earnings. They made the earnings weren't great, but their guidance sucked. I mean, bottom line, but down around 84. This is a company, a general merch discounter, saying their customers are struggling. And again, this is whether it was Five Below, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General, they're all struggled. But guess what's coming up soon? The holidays. And people are going to be, if they're struggling, they're going to be looking for discount and bargains and deals. And I think there's other places than TJ Maxx and again, other places than Costco for that kind of group to still search and seek out for deals. So somewhere around the 2018 lows, 2018, we're going back in a time capsule here. It was worthy of that shot of the stock. I think that's, we should see some kind of a dead cat bounce out of here at the very least, if not a return in the next 30 days up to a medium point of around 93. That's my 2 cents. So as far as the rest of the world is concerned on the market itself, general top to bottom, I just thought I'd give you a quick review of the trades that we put out or at least identified in the weekly, these videos that we do on YouTube. And just to point out, these are kind of real trades that we identify, trades that we do in the live trading room in front of people, also trades that we do in the asset management. Not all trades are taken in options. We might have positions in stocks, but it's the market and analysis that's giving us an edge. And when you get good looking signals, nothing's a guarantee, remember that, but it's a good edge. And this has been one whale of a volatile market. I'm sure if you're following stocks, you know it's been pretty crazy with these earnings reactions. As far as the market itself, personally, I'm not a big fan of the potential weakening of the Q structure here on the volume levels. I'll update you next week. We got to get through the rest of this week, which is Friday, and then we get into the 3-day holiday weekend of Labor Day. And I want to say thank you to all of our military and for those families who had lost members serving our country. Thank you very much. I know it's not Memorial Day, but we also like to give thanks to the men in blue, the guys that are out there on the streets defending our country. And Labor Day, I want everyone to have a great time, be safe, and I'll see you next week. Happy Labor Day, everybody, and we'll update you over the weekend, possibly, if not Tuesday, on how what the forward-looking market conditions look like. Thanks for listening. Have a great